Thank you so much when you take the time to write in. I appreciate it. Here's one that I just got. Dear Pastor Bob, I just wanted to take a second to reach out and thank you for all your daily podcasts. They have helped me grow, helped me to take account for areas in my life, and helped me to grow in my walk. So just in case you haven't heard it today or in a while, thank you. I appreciate that so much. And for all of you that watch and that write in, I read everything. I can't answer everything, but I read everything and I appreciate it. And we got some good things to talk about today. Next on Pastor Bob's Coffee Break. It's one of our new travel mugs. These are awesome, aren't they? This is our classic Christian metal fan design. And we asked you, you might remember, if you would write down your top 3 Christian metal bands, classic Christian metal bands. And from that list of hundreds and hundreds, we took 20. And they were pretty much standard. And we put all of those band logos all over the cup. And this is awesome. But anyway, it's 2 different kinds of cups. One has this kind of a top. One has the plastic top. And I think one is 16 ounces, one is 20. But these are awesome. And you'll find these, plus our wonderful coffee and our coffee of the season. I love you very much, and it's very, very good. So this is blueberries and cinnamon, and awesome. Plus all of our other stuff, our mugs, our coffee blends, everything that we have, our t-shirts. Right here, wearemetalwearefamily.com. Dear Pastor Bob, how much trust should be put into a particular pastor? It seems that some Christians strongly follow certain pastors and believe everything they say. Is this healthy or biblical? For example, there are some doctrines that a Christian may not normally believe in, but if one of their favorite preachers taught it, then they would believe in it. It almost seems like some Christians are worshiping the pastor. Why does this happen? Can it lead to error? Yes, it can. You know, this is a really tricky subject because there is some authority that a pastor has. And it's not one of these kinds of authorities. It's an authority that God gives him to shepherd you, to be insightful in your life, to love you unconditionally. There's an authority there that's really important. But when it comes to teaching, this is a big deal. And this really hits home for me because, I haven't always done this right. And I think I probably started teaching when I was a little too green, I didn't always know what I was talking about. And I'm still learning, which is the greatest thing about being a Christian, is that we're never done. But for many decades now, whenever I start teaching a class or start teaching a Bible study, whatever it might be, I always tell them that I have 2 things in mind. There's a double purpose for teaching and studying the Bible, and especially my class. And the first one is to learn how to study for yourself. Now, we may be picking a certain Bible, character to study, or maybe a book of the Bible, or whatever it is. But that isn't the whole point. It isn't just the information found in that particular book. I want you to learn how to study other books by learning how we study this one. So it's kind of teaching you how to study and learn how to study for yourself. You look it up. You know how to study. You know how to keep things in the context. And then the second purpose of everything that I teach is for people to leave hungry. And I always tell people, I want you to walk out of this class with more questions than you came into it with. Why is that? Not that we didn't answer questions, but I have more questions than I've ever had. I love that part because it keeps me in the Word, it keeps me studying, and it keeps me hungry for the things of God. I don't have this feeling that I've arrived, that I've learned everything. There is always more to learn. But I think it's really important that these two things are done. And it's especially important in light of this question. Can following a particular pastor lead to error? Yes. If you don't know how to study by yourself, on your own, and if you're not hungry to learn more and more and more. You begin to kind of swallow anything you hear, and you fall for things that you shouldn't. And it's up to you to make sure that what you're hearing is correct. Well, I want to go to Hebrews chapter 13 and verse 17. And it says, "Obey your spiritual leaders and submit to them, continually recognizing their authority over you. For they are constantly keeping watch over your souls and guarding your spiritual welfare." Now, this is a two-part thing. It's if they're guarding over your souls and your spiritual welfare, then put yourself in a position of learning and continually recognizing that this is where God has placed them. Not every pastor has this placement. Just because they call him a pastor doesn't mean that he is. There's a lot of pastors and evangelists out there who are scam artists. They really are. I'm not talking about them. But the ones who are put there to love you, to help guide you, to teach you, and to teach you how to learn yourself so that you become a mature Christian, not just following everything they say. Their job is to kind of stimulate your interest and cause you to study. So it says, obey them, submit to them, continually recognize their authority over you. For they're constantly keeping watch over your souls and guarding your spiritual welfare as men who will have to render an account of their trust. Do your part to let them do this with gladness, not with sighing and groaning, for that would not be profitable for you either. You kind of see the relationship here. Let me look at the Message commentary for a minute. It says it very well. Be responsive to your spiritual pastoral leaders. Listen to their counsel. They are alert to the condition of your lives, and they work under the strict supervision of God. That's true. Contribute to the joy of their leadership. It's not a drudgery, a joy. Why would you want to make things harder for them? Yeah, that's a whole different podcast. The stories I could tell. Well, folks, don't forget, you are blessed. So go and be a blessing.